be sort of the women that take us back to where we belong in a democracy. I just wanted to point that out. Sorry.
And just for everybody's information, so just to let everybody know, we've just started the YouTube live video. And if you do not want to be seen on our live video, that will be on the NWSOFA.org website that you can share with friends and everything. Just turn your video off. Otherwise, you will be on there at times. All right. Boot Money, Cecilia, and Columbus Care. Larry, you guys are ready to go.
Hey, where's our panel? Zoe's the only one, and you got to run.
Yep, I'm here.
You're the only one. I feel stood up at the prom. Cecilia, are you still with us? Okay, then we're going to have to wait because, you know, this is the first time we've tried this, and we're not quite so sure if we got it down pat just yet. So we're going to expect, and we're sort of going to need a lot of feedback. But what we wanted to cover tonight in sort of a informal, nonchalant kind of way to look at a very serious problem that we all have. Whoa, the screen just changed again.
Yeah, Boot Money, you also have Isham?
Hey,
Ishan?
Ishan, where are you at, dude?
Hi there.
All right.
Can you see me?
How's Madison?
Madison's going good.
Ishan's at UW. All right. We won't mention football, by the way. We wanted to take a look at where we're at in terms of three things. What this thing civic is, or civics, as they want, how that impacts culture. Those two things are sort of locked. Then a method and a way of looking at problems that might get us beyond the here and now while also getting us to point forward. We're covering a wide range of people, age groups that I think the only ones missing are toddlers. But I'll fix that. These age groups have different levels of wisdom based on three things: their knowledge, skills, and experience. All right? The base of our humanity is the youth's curiosity, and we've got to blend our KSEs so that they can benefit on the go forward. All right? We know that this isn't a battle that we're going to win tomorrow, but it's a battle we're going to win. And it means recognizing exactly who we are, why we are, right? To question why is going to be important. And where it's possible for us to take this thing, right? We'll get to the reasoning behind this a little bit later, right? Cecilia, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
I didn't step on your toes, I hope.
I have the other panelist.
Oh, hey, panelists.
So, yeah, I am. Hi, everybody. Welcome. He skipped my introduction, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm happy that you all are here. So pleased as punch. Just to invite you all here this evening brings two vibrant voices of our coffee and conversation, whose stories and community roots reach down back to where before I got involved in coffee and conversation. And their insight, their real world insight has mentored me beyond, taught me more things than I learned in school, y'all. Okay. So let me just say, so that's what I'm hoping they'll do for you, is what that's what I'm hoping we'll do tonight. This event is more than about sharing knowledge. It's about connecting, about building momentum, and about celebrating what happens when creative minds come together. So get ready for fresh perspectives, engaging stories, and a chance to take part in a lively and impactful conversation. So let's make this a night to remember as we welcome Boot Money and Columbus Larry to the stage. All right, y'all. Let's learn some civics. Some cultural.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
My name is Larry James Clark. I go by Jim, but over the years, signing up for things, it comes down to Larry. But the point is, I was born in Ohio on a farm in 1952. And the funny thing is, I always thought that I was born into modern times. And it took me many years to figure out I was born on the edge of modern times. It wasn't that many years before that the house got electricity. Was the year after I was born, we got inside plumbing. And I grew up as the appropriate word would be conservative, because my dad was conservative. He didn't know why he was conservative. It was what he was born into. And so me too. And I voted that way for, until I was 40 years old, let's say. And the thing that changed was I've had a varied career, a draftsman for building plans, and a flight instructor and a commercial pilot, and I flew for a company that was big
Hey,
into.
Larry, you left out car driver.
Say that?
You left out car driver.
Well, that came much later. That was my
Was that
latest
part of the
career.
civics lesson, though, that you learned?
Gentlemen, we're not going to be here all night. Okay. We can't interrupt each other.
Okay. Anyway, quick story is flying. The guy I flew for, just an absolute great guy, very conservative, and he ended up being the president of a national trade organization. And so we flew to Washington, I don't know, 15 times a year, something like that. So when I flew him to Washington, I was a tourist. And I remember going there in the late 80s through the 90s. And the first time I went there, I read a Capital newspaper. And I thought, holy crap, this is not what they told us about at home. They're writing out in the open, and they're talking about the K Street project, which is you could not get anything done without paying a proper price to the lobbyists. Couldn't do that without paying proper price to the political party to get heard. Okay, we got the K Street project. You got the tax pledge for Grover Norquist.
Oh.
He was a guy that had a meeting every Tuesday, I think it was, and all
Listen,
the
I
all the
hate to interrupt
congressmen.
you. I apologize. We have a question. Zoe.
Oh, I didn't have a question. I had a comment because I have to go soon. So I want to get what I want to say out of the way.
That is
But
okay. You go right ahead, because
okay,
we
I wanted
neglected to introduce you. So go ahead.
oh yeah. So my name is Zoe. For those who haven't seen me on Zoom before, I go to school in DeKalb, Illinois. I'm from Aurora, Illinois. I'm a senior in college. I got law school in less than a year. And I love coffee and conversation and unhappy happy hour. Anyways, when Larry mentioned how he grew up with around conservative people. It makes me go back to what I've mentioned before, that racism and prejudice isn't is taught, but it can be, I'm trying to figure out the words to say this, but a person can go, like, start to grow away from that when they become more educated and more informed on how
Just
people
gonna
are. Because
come
we
up
know
with-
when it comes to psychologically, there's stereotypes and there's implicit bias where you may just see somebody and think that they're a certain type of way. But when you begin to educate yourself and not base one person or one experience with one person and base that, make them the whole of the group, then that's where you move away from, that's where you go into the, okay, yeah, my parents are this way, but I'm not this way because of what I know.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't just say, well, I had a bad experience with this black guy at the gas station, so all black people must be like that. That's not how
Right.
this
Mhm.
works. And it's again with the same thing. If you're taught that and you grow up with your parents do certain things or act a certain way towards people and they're never reprimanded for those actions. Or, when you do that, you may think that that's a normal thing to do. So when you get old enough to educate yourself and to not be as easily influenced by the people in your life, then, you know, that's when you learn how people really are truly, I think. Because you don't always have to keep tradition. I think that's the basis,
Right.
but I just believe that racism is taught, and but I believe it can be cured. I'm going to use the word cured because it's a disease. So that's what I have. Yeah, that's all I have.
Appreciate that very
Very
much.
good. Yes, and you're basically telling my story. That's I didn't realize that there was another version until I got into the world a little bit, and I got to rub elbows or be adjacent to rubbing elbows with a lot of different people, and so the last I'm 73 years old. The last 30 some years, or I think the first liberal I voted for would have been Bill Clinton,
Ooh.
and the point. And anyway, so it's all been an education since then. When I
Yeah.
go on trips, I take educational trips. I try to make myself better, not because I necessarily because I want to be a better person. It just is a lot more fun.
Yes.
So anyway, and that I'll lead you right into Boot Money. He's the man connecting the dots here. So,
Well,
and I got 100 more stories.
Oh, we got Bruce.
we
I
got
want to hear
Bruce
what
with a
Bruce has to say
question.
because Bruce, you're vital for us explaining a certain age level understanding of what civics is. And
I'm the same age as both of you.
that's what I mean.
Um,
You're going to give us the legalistics. I can give
no,
you the cultural
actually, I
point.
want to
Yeah.
give you, I hope Zoe is still on
She
because
is.
what she just said resonated with me. Rogers and Hammerstein, they recognized this, what she just said, and did a song in South Pacific, said you must be carefully taught. And what it's about is this, the lady in the show meets this man who's been living there, and she's falling in love with him. And then she sees that his children are Polynesian. And she has an issue with this. And I believe she leaves him for, I don't know if they got back together later, but he sings this song, You Must Be Carefully Taught, and it's about racism, and it was very controversial at the time and ahead of its time. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
I think Rogers and Hammerstein were ahead of their time on many occasions. And yes, thank you, Bruce. Ori, Miss Ori, you go. How may we?
Cecilia, have I been hijacked?
Oh, probably.
Oh, God. We haven't even gotten into the good stuff.
Oh,
No,
no.
you got a
You
long way
asked
to
the
go.
question, what is
Before
civics? That's a
before
good.
anyone
Is
before anyone
Ishan still here?
Oh, yeah.
Am I
Sorry, I'm not trying to step on your toes, really.
permitted to speak yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that I have to go, but I have to go to class. But I appreciate being on the panel, even if I only talk for a few seconds. Ori, I really wish I could stay for what you have to say because I always love when you speak. I always love when you speak. Um, thank you, Boot Money, and thank you, Bruce, for responding to me. Thank you, Cecilia, for inviting me. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow morning.
Yes,
Sat-
ma'am. And you're
Talk to you
invited
guys.
next time. Next time
Thank
we'll
you.
not have it on a Tuesday.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye. All right. Yes, I'm sorry.
no, I just wanted to, and I don't want to interrupt, but I think we have to keep in mind when you say what you learn. What you learn can be how to discriminate. The civics I was taught, born and raised in Chicago, went to Chicago public schools at a time when there were no Black teachers. Eventually, I had got a few Black men teachers, and before I graduated, I had a Black woman teacher. But we were taught that Black people and women were not equal. That was part of what civics was, and that is
Yeah.
Chicago with the Democratic Party running it. So it is not what's taught; it is how truth is not. It's a disinformation of truth, and one of the reasons. And sometimes, as some of you may or may not know, I'm used to be retired civil rights attorney, have 3 degrees, and graduated from public school. But part of what happened for me was some of my white instructors, the white female instructors, dared to tell the truth. And this is in Chicago, where I had a white female instructor that told us we should vote. At the same time, the Democratic Party in Chicago was telling Black people, you don't need to vote, it don't matter. So again, we need to understand all of our cultural background is not the same.
Right.
And if we don't understand that historically, how we move forward will be distorted because it'll be based on my life, not Boot Money's, not Bruce's. What we have to understand is we're in this together, but guess what? We didn't grow up likely together. Segregation was legal in Chicago. I mean, as I said, Dr. King came to Chicago for a reason, and it wasn't to enjoy the weather. So we have to just keep in mind as we move forward, particularly as we talk about women's rights and how, again, in public school when I was growing up and they were giving out condoms, when birth control pills became available, girls were told they couldn't take them. So all I'm saying to you is as we move forward, we clear, and don't even get me started on my Southern roots of what my family in Alabama says, that, I mean, if we are going to move forward culturally and progressively, we have to understand the distinctions with the difference, respect them, and try to incorporate them as we move with progress steps. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. I apologize if you heard my cat making noise over there. Ishan, did I see your hand up?
Yeah, I was just playing around with the controls and I think I accidentally raised my hand.
That's okay.
But Ori, I really appreciated that insight because it's so true. And it was somebody else saying something.
It's okay.
Oh no, I just wanted to add on to that. I think one of the things that I have noticed a lot, and like I've not seen a lot, obviously, but I like growing up in the time we've been in, honestly, I like to think we've had so much happen in such a compressed amount of time that we could call it its own time period. But one of the things I've noticed and I've learned and having experienced it a lot is the need for representation in a lot of different avenues of dialogue, whether it's in a school. I mean, for example, I'm Indian American. I have had in my entire schooling career one teacher that has ever looked like me, that has ever understood my experiences. Not one has ever been able to pronounce my last name on the first day of school. Like there are those really minor things. and I think it applies really anywhere, where once you have that representation, so many people can feel welcome. And like in these conversations about civics, I think one of the biggest barriers is that civics is different things to different people. And so some people are getting left behind when it comes to the issue of voting. Some people don't have issues that speak to them. And like I think once we start elevating voices of all kinds of backgrounds, I think that's how we also make it more accessible. And I think that kind of builds off of Ori's point, to provide more of those voices, to be able to call out those issues that will get missed, that will get missed by people that are, in the status quo, if you will, who may not recognize that. That's just my 2 cents.
Those were very good sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Go ahead, Boo.
Oh, I was reading my notes, unfortunately. I did have a question for Ishan, in that, do you also sense a greater cultural component to the civics that we're trying to create at this point in time? Or what do you see us actually trying to accomplish within the framework that we have to work with?
So when you speak of culture, like what exactly are you looking at specifically in that sense, I guess, would be my question back.
Ishan, I used to teach school, so I know this trick. So I'm going to ask you again, what is it that you think?
Sure. I mean, when I look at it, like especially, I like to always think of things from even the perspective of my generation. Like when I think about civics knowledge, like just even knowing like how a bill becomes a law, or like what's a state senator, like those types of questions, those become, there's like a, there are different tiers of what people know. And like when it comes to that topic of accessing that type of information, I guess, a lot of people in my generation, we're very left out, and that's because a lot of the people that are in those positions, in elected positions and organizing positions, a lot of them are not using the avenues to speak to us directly, to Gen Z. And so when it comes to platforms like TikTok or on Instagram, like there's an absence. And I think that creates a big cultural divide because, and I think specifically when we're looking at it as a right and left issue, um, I see the failure greater on the left, that because we have not been able to leverage that sort of civics education of like how politics works. And like there is an advantage to being able to teach people about how this civic stuff works, when you're coming in from that partisan lens, because it becomes easier to explain like the importance of an issue. And I think the right did that really well, to their credit, in the last election. Like they leveraged TikTok and they leveraged YouTube, and they were able to speak with so many people in my generation. And it's created a very big cultural schism, if you will. Like I'm on campus every day, and we're talking politics a lot. And I will admit, like the assumption that was that young people are all progressives and we're all liberals and we love a lot of things. Like it's not true anymore. It's not true. And they've been able to use culture in such an interesting way. I was reading an article yesterday. It's not even like there's outward messaging, like you should vote for Republicans. Like
What makes it not true?
What?
You said it's not true, right?
Well, yeah, like it's not even like they're using
Well,
messaging.
what makes it not true? What is it that they're getting
It's
that somehow nobody else is getting?
So the article I was reading yesterday was like talking about cooking, fitness bros, um, I can't remember the other, health gurus or stuff, people like who ideally you would never expect to be political at all, but they are attracting those people, um, and tend to have more of those right-leaning views. Random influencers, I just saw that chat from Stephanie, like literally random influencers who do like the most niche stuff possible, but they attract a lot of the people on the right to their comment sections, and like there will be huge discussions that go on there. And sometimes these people who ideally are never involved in politics at all, like you could watch their videos and you would not be able to hear an outward political expression. They're able to then hold those conversations in their comment sections, for example, or get invited to events. And that's how they take control of these internet platforms. And I think what we need to be doing when we're thinking about it as a cultural issue, we should be figuring out how we can claim like that mantle of internet communication. And I think that's the next big challenge. I hope that answers your question. Let me
Oh
know
yeah,
if it doesn't.
you actually walked us straight through our slide, Ishan,
Perfect.
without even knowing it. You did that, because that's what they do exactly. Thank you. Yeah, Misha.
Hi, sorry I can't turn on my video, but I'll lose connection. I want to go back to Ishan's comments, and I thought, because I think about this a lot, years ago, influencers were in the game rooms where a lot of gamers are, and there's conversation, and people started developing just a conversation and understanding what was some of the sentiments in the gamer world, and they were able to connect or be part of what we're calling right wing. And the reason why I say what we are calling at that time, it wasn't right or left.
Yes.
It was just that the people they met the people where they were, the young people. And the reason I became aware of it was because of my godson and my nephew are gamers. And I remember sitting with them, learning how to play Minecraft. And so that and other avenues allowed people to engage in conversations based on a game. So if you keep being present and forming allies and tribes and connections, it's easier for them to be influenced by what you have next. And I don't know if anyone on the progressive side started paying attention and enough to articulate to people that think that the world was marching or active in one sphere, that the young people at a very young, and when I say young people, I'm talking like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds that have been cultivated over this time period. And in order for us to help shift some of that cultural things that are going in the gamer world and online world, is for us to engage and just hang out with them and understand the language and what their topics are to help create a shift, because then I become trustworthy. If you see me there, you hear what I have to say in the comment section or what I'm saying during the game, that I'm more accessible, or you're more accessible to me to influence you about what's next. And I don't hear that very much when I'm in different spaces. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm from Seattle, Washington. I don't hear that much in various spaces. And it's greater than just the history at times that still lives in our present day, but so we've got young people going through this. We've got people that understand the historical racism, bigotry, biases that have been in our culture, in the governmental system, even in the policies that were developed at the federal level that impacted people, from not being able to do a GI Bill if you're Black, right? You can't take advantage of the housing benefit even though you're a GI that did their thing, or because you are living in a particular area, you got pushed to be in a certain area within that area. So I just think these are ants, and sometimes we don't use the looking at them, they're parallel worlds happening, and crossing over at time to time to say, oh, see what else is happening over there in the young, I'll call it the young world. I'll check over here because there have been historical bigotry and biases that have created that world, and see where we can find moments where we can go in and start planting the seeds, and at times being able to engage people where they can see how we benefit if they just open the blinders to a wider aperture. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Well, thank you. All right, Constance. Oh, can you unmute?
Ready. As I'm looking at these slides, I'm thinking about how much better really the Democratic story is than the Republican story, because if you look even back into the early days of modern history, maybe at the beginning of the the 20th century and beyond, you have a lot of policies like were Republican policies like laissez-faire that led to the Great Depression, and that isolationism would have kept America out of World War I and World War II, allowing for, the dictator to take over, half of the world, that sort of thing. So it was the Democrats who really stood up in those important moments in American history and have the good story to tell. Plus, after World War II, we were the ones who spearheaded the saving of Europe with the airdrops of food and that sort of thing, and really forged that international community that served us so well, and NATO that served us so well for 80 years. Basically, we have that story to tell. The Republicans were primarily on the sidelines, wanting to be isolationists, always wanting to kind of hang back and just do as little as possible. So we have the better story to tell, and it's a patriotic story. And we should be telling that, because it's a story of bravery. It's a story of heroism, essentially. And without going overboard, it's a strong story, and we're not telling that strong story. We're letting the other side appear strong when all they've done throughout history is just say, no, I don't think so. It's bad for this reason or that, and allowed basically Democrats to do the big brave things that kept us safe for so many years. So I think we need to tell that story in a manner that they're making themselves look good when their policies, even like George W. Bush kept up, undid all of the stock market protections that kept us safe. And then by virtue of his getting rid of them, led to the Great Recession of 2008. So all of these mistakes on the part of the Republic is a bad story to tell, whereas we have a good and a better story to tell. And I think we just need to, for some reason, we have been reluctant to tell it, but we've got to. Does that make sense to you?
That makes 100% sense to me.
I used to tell my kids, and I was a teacher, a high school teacher, and they would ask me questions, and I would just tell them, and they were transfixed. Oh, wow, you mean it happened that way, and that's what happened, and and they were interested in hearing. I mean, they knew about the good things about American history, but they didn't know about the party dynamics behind them. And we have that good story to tell.
Hey,
I don't know.
this is Chris. I just wanted to, Rebecca is not with us tonight as a timekeeper. So I just want to, maybe if we could just get through Kim and Earl, then we can transition back to Boot Money for, so he can kind of share his pearls of wisdom with us.
Okay.
Stephanie, you are supposed to be my timekeeper. You're lacking on me, girl. Oh, all right.
No, I was managing the time and it felt like we were still inside where we needed to be. So I'm good.
Ah, all right. Kim, you're up. Thank you. Thank you, Constance. You're amazing per usual. All right.
Hi, this is Kim from St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm a retired special ed teacher. And it just seems to me that, well, it doesn't, this is how it is. In elementary school, you know, we've got so many minutes we have to teach reading, math, writing, and other things. And it's like social studies or civics, whatever you want to call it, and science. Science even supersedes social studies. It's like when you're in a time crunch, that's what goes. And so we're not teaching at the very young age anymore the very basics of civics, like Schoolhouse Rock stuff, to where then as they go through middle school and high school, I'm not even sure if they have to take more than one American history class. So there's something that needs to be done along those lines as well to bring out those stories and hopefully, you know, not a right versus left, but these are the facts. And, you know, it's my understanding that right now they being the what's left of the Department of Education, writing new curriculum that everybody's supposed to teach verbatim.
Right.
And, you know, that's not right. Secondly, I think a lot gets lost. I know the younger generation is getting things off of TikTok and those medias, which, yes, the Democrats need to learn how to do better to address, but it's also, I believe, our duty to have real conversations face to face.
Oh, yeah.
And that can go on a deeper level. And you can, I went to a town talks thing through Indivisible here yesterday, and it was really good because it was teaching us and reminding us the value of being a good listener. And if you are really listening, then you can restate what the other person is saying and get an understanding, and you share your perspective, or you drill down on the conversation with someone that isn't necessarily in your same camp, and you can, they may not agree with you right away, but if you present, you know, a nugget here and there, they can go back and think about it, and you might start cracking in. So I think there's a lot to be said. You know, our youth, they're so into the phones and communicating by text, and we adults have started getting that way too. So I think the divide grows further and further instead of us coming back more to the center and talking to each other.
I understand. Thank you, Kim. That's very good point. Okay, Earl. Oh, you need to shoot. Unmute, please.
Kim made a number of good points about face-to-face conversation, and we've talked about what can be done in schools, but I'm going to go back to what Ishan said, which is social media is the main educational medium for young people today, and I think the right wing has invested a lot of money carefully, intentionally building on that, and I'm hoping somebody in the left is doing the same.
Yeah, there are several that are attempting to build, attempting to catch up, I would say. I think that we need to do much, much more. Larry, Columbus Larry, you are a co-host, my guy.
Boot money. How did we get here?
Oh man, Larry, your guess is as good as mine. You know, I think they called it Civics. But
I'm losing your sound. I don't know for
Yeah,
everybody else.
you're a little quiet there, Boot.
yeah. How's that? Any help?
Better.
Okay. Hey, everything that's been brought up so far sort of dances around where we originally started, because and Ishan, this goes to you too, because I noticed that when you were going through your decision system, all right, there's a mixture between the political civic, which okay, we can fight that till
Hey,
we
Boot,
all turn blue in the
we can
face.
still barely hear you.
Democrats versus Republicans,
Yeah.
but that's not the cultural issue.
Boot money. There's something wrong with your sound. Maybe you just need to be closer to your mic.
Boy, if I got any closer, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Stephanie, do you make house calls? All right, can you hear me at least?
Yes, we can
Yep.
hear you now.
All right, so we've got to sort of take a different look at this whole question of civics, because we get ourselves wrapped up in the political aspects of a system right now that we're watching fail. All right, but there's an overlay, and it's really the overlay that's important, because that's where we as a people, regardless of whatever demarcation somebody wants to put on us, we are all human beings. All right. So no matter what happens, it's going to happen on a human level. Politics is transient, right? And it can be replaced. And hey, Cecilia, did you explain what the Bardo is yet?
No,
Are
you
you
skipped
going
over
to
my
tonight, or do
introduction.
we kick that down the road?
Well, you kind of skipped over my introduction, so I had to fly. We had to fly through that. No biggie.
I owe you another one. So.
It's okay. Josephine has her hand up, so we might go to her and see if she has.
Josephine.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Thank you. So I'm actually very interested in the slides. I mean, the discussion is fine. And I'm very interested in the slides because I do have an engineering background, and I'm familiar with root cause analysis and the fishbone diagram, and also project management as a formal discipline. So I'm actually very interested in hearing what whoever prepared these slides has to say about root cause analysis and applying project management to civic change, because I think those could be very interesting ideas, and I'm not sure that everyone else in the audience today has familiarity with these concepts. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
No, thank you, Josephine, because I think this is fundamental to what we are trying to get across. All right, and it's based on being non-judgmental about events that have taken place in the past, since they can't be changed. All right. What we want to help people understand is that there's a very simple business solution to this called root cause analysis. It's more prevalent in perhaps you're familiar with ITSM systems, okay, the British standard, but I just lost my train of thought.
Well, what I can say is that fishbone diagrams and root cause analysis been around for probably about 50 years.
Oh, yeah, but that's, those visuals are meant to highlight that there's multiple techniques, multiple paths, all right? That there isn't one single solitary solution to what we're facing, all right? So
Well, I guess my point is that I think that probably, I mean, I don't want to speak for anyone else on the call, but we have over 100 people on the call, and I would, you know, if I were in charge, I would love to do a poll, for example. I'm not saying we should do one, but I imagine that if we were to do a poll, most of the people on the call have never heard of root cause analysis and the fishbone diagram and have no experience or formal training in project management. So I think it's really important, if you're going to talk about these things, to you know, give people some information, basic information, and introduce them to these concepts, because if we're going to use these things as tools and approaches, then at the very least, we need to understand the needs of our audience and start with the basics and just define some of these things.
yeah, well, you know, you're absolutely correct. If we wanted everybody to become project managers or anything else, all we want to do is show that there's a methodology that we can look for. If somebody else that's on the call might not want to do the kind of work necessary for project management or for root cause analysis.
All I'm saying is that if we have the slides and we want to be kind to our audience, we should do them at least the basic favor of explaining the terms a little bit.
Hey, Boot
Can
Money,
I jump in here?
Yeah, 1 second, Stephanie, just 1 sec.
Sure.
Boot Money, we're still having challenges with your audio, so if you get a little closer to the mic. And just to kind of circle back to what I think Josephine's saying, is there were a couple of slides at the very beginning of the presentation that Boot Money was getting ready to go through, but then we took some questions. So I think what Josephine is suggesting is that we just go back, like we kind of flew through the one on root cause analysis, etc. She's just saying we kind of skipped a couple that are probably foundational to Boot Money's presentation. So just to kind of, we kind of rolled through those because of the questions. So is that, am I on track, Josephine? Is that what you're getting at?
Thank you. That's great. That would do it. Thank you.
Yeah, Boot Money, you need to explain the key root, you need to explain the slide.
But this one is further down, right?
No, this was last
Okay.
slide. The 5 whys.
The only thing that we want to bring out about root cause analysis is that if you're looking into something, you should ask for it. And if you don't see it in what somebody is purporting to present as real or true, you can run a quick way to analyze what they're saying. And it's a simple little technique called 5 whys. We're not asking people to become, you know, totally expertise in the method, but to know that the method is there, and that's what a lot of our thinking is based on. Not who's right, who's wrong, but what's going to be workable, what's survivable. So I think, you know, to get back to Ishan, the political landscape is changing. It may not be quite as visible to you as it is to many of the other people that are, you know, have some mileage on us, but it's changing. And it's not going to just be a 2-part system, maybe. And we've got to get ourselves ready for it. And by getting ourselves ready, we need to understand why this happened. And the why is going to be sort of a tough swallow for people, because my basic reading of this is that we inhabit a geographical area that was populated through the theft of property and maintained through the theft of labor. And it hasn't failed me yet. I look at all the isms as just transparent. What stays is culture. We have a civic culture. We have to recognize what has built that civic culture. And it isn't one thing, it's a whole bunch of things. And then we'll see this is the way humanity has survived for, well, we've been upright for 300,000 years. So you've got to figure we knew something about survival, you know? And are we still going to be able to survive? Are we answering the right questions? Are we solving the right problems? And if something is ended, what's that in between thing again, Cecilia?
The Bardo.
The Bardo is, maybe that's where we're at before something else replaces it and takes us forward. But I tell you one thing, the people that I've interacted with in Indivisible are plugged in to where we're going to be in the future. Whether we're here physically or not, this spirit is, it's unbelievable. But anyway, Cecilia.
Just a moment. Ishan is going to have to leave us. Go ahead.
We still
Sean,
can't
you're
hear
gonna
him.
come back, right?
Oh, please, I will always be back if you'll have me. I was just saying I do have to get going. I'm getting the calls for my next meeting. But I just wanted to say first, I think we have hope. We have made it. We've always made it this far. So I think we got it in us. I think obviously we need to innovate our way through. And I heard there was like an earlier discussion that I just wanted to chime in on before I hopped off here, which was about not necessarily everyone just being project managers. Like I saw a video just a few days ago from one of my friends. Her name is Liz Vanilla. She's based out of Illinois, and she's very big on the new media space. But one of the things she posted was, um, in the next few weeks, maybe just reflect on your own and figure out what your three best skills are, whether it's public speaking, whether it's organizing, whether it's accounting, whatever you're good at. To have that idea down, the project managers will elevate on their own and will be able to assign people. But I think the best way to meet this moment is to make sure we are utilizing every person's talent in the best way possible. Because that's the only way we put up the tallest fence to all of the chaos that they are putting our way. But that's all I wanted to just say. Thank you so much, Cecilia and Bill, for inviting me and having me here. It was amazing, and I am happy to be back anytime you ask. And everyone, please take care. I would love to get in touch if you want to talk about this more. But I do have to get going, so I will talk to all of you very soon.
All right. Have a good night, Ishan.
Thank you. You guys too.
Oh, those darn college kids always zooming off left and right. All right. Yeah, I know. Constance. Oh, nope. You have to unmute.
So, I think, somebody like Governor Pritzker should maybe see these slides. We need like a team, maybe even an ad agency or something to develop our own presentation like that. It has to be, done professionally with that same sort of subtle understanding of human psychology and how it can build over a set of information pieces that get the kind of outcome and outcome that we want. and understanding too. So I'm thinking like, we need to get some of the movers and shakers of the party to see some of this stuff if they haven't already. I don't know. But I mean, Isham maybe should set up a meeting with Governor Pritzker and show him what's going on. And maybe, he's a mover and shaker. He could say, hey, so and so can help you with this or something.
Yeah.
So that is my suggestion.
I will let it. Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to get rid of all the typos before we pass this along.
Now, hey,
Who did? Yeah.
something else on the table, Cecilia?
Yeah, Boot, we're having a really hard time hearing you. I don't know what's wrong with your audio, but something's wrong. So
Put on your headphones and see if that helps.
yeah. See if that will help. That might help.
Out of the same. Okay.
Also, Beth, you don't have to yell at us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Did I sound like Adrian for a minute?
You did kind of sound like Adrian a little, but that's okay. All right. So oh my goodness.
We are at 6 o'clock.
We are at 6
Just
o'clock
for everybody in terms of we had a lot of content.
We had a lot of we have one more. We are at the final. We are at the final. At the
Part one. We should have started there.
we are at the very
nothing else will make sense until people understand the role that this takes.
I'd say we need to do another presentation and come back around to the core content that we kind of worked our way through. So just thinking about it for everybody's time and consideration that we wrap and regroup and do this again now that we've had a trial run, and we thank everybody for sitting through it with us because they had a great time talking.
Well, but everybody who has had y'all,
whether that be in chat or in voice, there's a lot. It's busy over here.
Has it been? Because I haven't seen it because I've been in presentation mode. So
you're good. No, I got you.
I thank you so much. Yeah, y'all. Thank you so much. The gratitude, if I haven't mentioned it along the way, it's because I've been stressed out to the max. And I appreciate you so very much for all of your grace and all of your understanding for our ums and ohs and the fact that we've had our panelists in and out and we're actually missing a person, and I appreciate you for not saying anything, and thank you so much, y'all. You are the best audience in the world. And we will have more to come on this. We will have a cleaner presentation next time. I will be better prepared, and things will be sent out to you. Right? We will send the
we can do that.
Yes, we will send the slides out to you and everything. If you were registered through Mobilize,
yeah, we
will send what was done tonight. So we hope that you learned a little bit from the presentation. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email, and we hope you come back for the follow-up so we can fill your brain with some more information, and so we can teach some more and learn some more and work together some more. Y'all, this has been great, and we hope you have an excellent evening.
Hey, before we go, Constance has her hand up. Let's go out with Constance.
No,
what do you
I'm
say?
sorry. I
Okay.
was down. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, thank you.
We try and let everybody be heard.
Sure.
Okay. Thank y'all. Have a lovely night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Cecilia. Bye-bye.